Hello participants, welcome back to our study. This is the Module 4 of the study about self-compassion and imposter phenomenon. Previously, we talked about the first two elements of self-compassion, which are mindfulness and common humanity. Today, we're going to further focus on the last component, which is self-kindness. Self-kindness means being supportive and understanding towards ourselves when we're having a hard time, instead of being harshly self-critical. It's amazing how often people are critical and judgmental toward themselves. We're much more critical to ourselves than we are to other people, especially to people we care about. For a lot of people, self-criticism has become this habit. They don't even notice. They even believe that attacking and criticizing themselves for being inadequate or any kind of personal shortcomings is the best way to motivate themselves. However, it's not the case. In fact, research has shown that self-criticism is not a good way to motivate ourselves, and oftentimes it has a negative impact on our motivation level. Self-kindness, on the other hand, offers this alternative way to motivate ourselves. Instead of attacking and criticizing ourselves for being inadequate, we offer ourselves warmth and unconditional acceptance. That serves the foundation for us to feel okay about what we have right now and then move on to the next challenge. It might be easier for us to use examples to see how self-kindness might be a better motivator for ourselves compared to self-criticism. Let's say there's a father whose son comes home from high school with a failing math grade. The father has two different ways to try to motivate his child. The first is with harsh criticism. The son comes in and shows the father the math grade, and father says, "I'm disappointed in you, I'm ashamed of you, what a loser, you can't do anything well." So if that's the words the father uses with the son, how do you think the son would feel? How do you feel about this criticism? Is that too harsh? But isn't that exactly the words we will use with ourselves? What do you think is going to happen to that son? Will he try harder? Yeah, he probably will for the short term, but eventually he's probably gonna feel kind of depressed and start to lose faith in himself, maybe give up math altogether. Then let's try a different approach. What if the father takes a more compassionate approach? What would he say? So the same scenario, the son walks in with this failing math grade. Instead of saying, "I'm disappointed at you," the father says, "Oh, I'm sorry. You must be hurting. Give me a hug. I still love you. It happens to everyone. I know you want to get your math grade up because you want to go to college. Let's see how I can help. What can I do to help?" So that's what compassion would say. How can I do to help? Or what I can do to help. How can I support you? So I think most of us would agree that the more loving, compassionate the father is, the son will feel much better emotionally to be able to do his best next time around. So compassion really offers us the warmth and unconditional acceptance we need to feel more prepared for the next time or more motivated for more challenges in the future. So next time when we're having a hard time, would it be okay for us to provide ourselves those encouraging, caring, and supportive words? Then let's focus on how self-kindness can be helpful in reducing imposter phenomenon. Individuals who suffer from the imposter feelings often believe that their success is due to luck or mistakes and have the internalized fear of being exposed as an imposter. To manage their fear, they tend to be extremely harsh and judgmental toward themselves and deny their own competence, even in the face of their clearly evidenced achievement. The extreme level of denial of self-competence and self-harshness suggests that these individuals might suffer from extremely high self-judgment or self-criticism. So individuals who experience imposter syndrome or imposter phenomenon might benefit a lot from practicing self-kindness because they will learn to appreciate themselves a lot more. So after we talk about the benefits of practicing self-kindness, And the next question would be, how do we start? So here we're going to talk about some ways we can start practicing self-kindness. So one way to start practicing self-kindness is to start noticing the language you use with yourself. Knowing that self-kindness involves using kind, caring, and gentle language with oneself. It also involves actively soothing and comforting oneself when things go wrong. So if you tend to use harsh or critical or judgmental language, please try to stop that actively and consciously and replace what you say with words that are kinder, more understanding, more encouraging, and more supportive. And it's important to find phrases that really speak to you in a loving way. Some traditional loving kindness phrases often used in meditation include, "May I be kind to myself," "May I know that I belong," "May I be peaceful and at ease," "May I rest in love." Things like that. It doesn't have to be these phrases, because these phrases here have been handed down over centuries. So it's not surprising that it can be a little bit hard to connect with. So it's important to find loving kindness phrases that really resonate with you. It's especially true when we want to generate feelings of loving kindness for ourselves. They must feel authentic to have impact. As you are reading this, please take a moment to think of one or two phrases that are deeply meaningful to you. If you have a hard time thinking of one, please think about a very good friend of yours. What would they say that can provide you the kindness you need? Another very good starting point of practicing self-kindness is to try some physical gestures of affection, like a stroke or touch or hug. Research has shown that these physical gestures can help us release oxytocin in the body, which is the feel-good hormone. For example, when the mother rocks and cradles her baby, a lot of oxytocin is released, and that's what allows the baby to calm down. So in the future, if you're experiencing difficult times or difficult emotions, feelings of inadequacy, please remember to give yourself a gentle touch or a hug or whatever physical gestures that you can do to make yourself feel supported and cared for. I really encourage everyone to start practicing self-kindness and really to experience what kind of effect that can have on our own mood and our well-being in general. So after this video, you will find a few exercises that's focused on self-kindness in this module. I thank you very much for completing those exercises, and hopefully they're very helpful for you. Okay, so that's the end of this module and also all of the modules for this study. Thank you so much for participating.